What's up, my name is TechNubber here for Troubleshoot, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can use your DSLR as a live streaming webcam. Not only am I going to show you how to get it as a webcam input so that it'll work with Discord, Zoom and everything else, but also OBS and of course the people sponsoring this video, Restream's free live streaming dashboard where you can stream without software on your computer to multiple platforms at once. I'll be going live to YouTube, Twitch and a couple of other platforms using my DSLR webcam. Well, first of all, you'll need a Canon DSLR. This video won't cover other brands, but of course there are guides for those. And the second thing, it should be a newer camera, but of course it'll work with slightly older cameras. My camera isn't officially supported, the Canon 600D, but I'll be turning it into a webcam in this video. So if you don't know by now, this is the Canon website over here, and recently they announced and released the EOS Webcam utility. Basically, you install the software, you plug in your camera via the USB cable, and magically, it just works as a webcam input for a bunch of different software all over your PC. It's literally download, install, plug and play. If we scroll down even further, you'll find the supported devices. Now, if I quickly look for 600D, you'll notice that it's not on this page at all, meaning it's not officially supported, but I still got it to work. So if you have a slightly older camera, this video should help you out with that as well. What we need to do next is simply navigate across to the first link in the description down below, which will take you to this EOS Webcam utility page. Then scroll down, choose your operating system, and then scroll down a bit further until you see the supported cameras list. On this list over here, we'll simply click our camera to be redirected to the support page for it. Mine, of course, wasn't here. This is the page for my Canon EOS 600D. Scrolling down, we'll simply pick the correct operating system, and as you'll quickly notice, this page doesn't feature a download to the EOS Webcam utility. So it's not officially supported and there isn't an official download for it. What do we do? Well, of course, we can simply ignore it, head across to this EOS camera page, and simply just click on any model to be taken to the support page. Simply scrolling down, we'll select the correct operating system, the correct language, and we should find the EOS Webcam Utility 1.1 for Windows, or of course, whatever version is released at the time of you viewing. Simply select it, close the little pop-up modal if you get one, and then click download. Now it gives us a little guide on opening up the install. Simply just click on the zip when it's done downloading. Then it'll open up as such. What we need to do is simply extract the zip into another folder somewhere. I'll make a folder on my desktop. I'll call it EOS. Now all I have to do is select everything inside of the zip, drag and drop it out into the folder, and we can close out of the zip. Opening up the folder, we have all of the files once again. Now all we have to do is double click on setup.exe to open up the installer. I'll select the correct setup language, next, next, read through the license agreement, next, choose an install location, next, and then clicking install, we'll be asked if we want to allow it administrator privileges. Simply just click yes, and the driver will begin to install. At this point, all you have to do is wait for it to complete and then click finish. Now we can close out of the installer and we can delete the file if you want. Great, now what? Hitting start, you won't notice any new programs, and inside of the add or remove programs list, you'll see the new EOS Webcam utility, meaning that it's properly installed. So what exactly do we need to do? Well, open up some software that supports a webcam input. I'll be using Discord as an example. Simply clicking the settings button next to your username in the bottom left, then heading across to the voice and video tab, we'll see our microphone input settings. Scrolling down, we see video settings. This is what we're interested in. I, of course, have my webcam selected, but what I'll be doing is selecting the new input, the EOS Webcam utility. After clicking Test Video, you'll notice a small window over here that seems to be reversed, saying EOS Webcam Utility, followed by a disconnected icon. All that we have to do is simply take our physical DSLR camera, grab the USB cable for it, plug in both ends of the cable, and then simply flick the camera across into movie mode, and then turn it on. At this point, you'll see the camera come on, and there'll be a whole bunch of noise while it's turning on. Don't worry, that's normal. Removing the lens cover, you can see our videos coming through here. And also, we have it on our screen right over here. It's a live feed from the camera, and it's not too delayed. So I'll simply mount it on a tripod to make this a bit easier. Then I'll add it as an input to OBS where I'm recording this so that you can see exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, because this is Windows, only one program can use the webcam at a time. So you'll have to make sure to disable this preview over here, either by clicking away and back to it, or by closing the settings screen. When we're done with that, we'll bring across OBS over here, we'll click add, and we'll add ourselves a new video capture device input. I'll click OK, naming it whatever I want. Once it opens up, you'll see the device preview over here. If you don't see the preview, make sure to select the correct camera from the drop-downs list over here and make sure no other software is using it. Scrolling down, we have a couple of options here for resolution, FPS, which I'll quickly drop down and change it to custom mode. Then we can input our own settings here. As you can see, even though the camera is physically set to 1080-30 mode, it only goes up to 720-30. Why is that? Well, I'm pretty sure it's just because the device isn't officially supported, and this is probably a limitation of the USB 2.0 connection for it. We can, of course, choose a color space, choose a color range, change the video format if available, and all of the other normal webcam options. And unfortunately, the configure video button and configure crossbar buttons do absolutely nothing, as it's a physical camera and we'll adjust them on the camera. Anyways, let's go ahead and take this video device and make it full screen. I'll simply right-click on it, choose transform, and then click fit to screen. At this point, I'll enable the camera and all you'll see is the camera. So flipping the camera around, hello there. Obviously you'll have to do all of your rolling of focus manually and the rest. But once you've got everything set up, you've now got your physical DSLR working as a webcam. You can of course adjust this and put it wherever you want it inside of OBS. But that's not really what I'm here for. And of course, if you're like me using an older webcam, you'll have to manually cross out these bars as the resolution isn't exactly correct. How do we do that? Well, because I'm recording my screen, it's going to be a bit more difficult. I think I'll push this across to the side and enable my webcam, and I'll squish it up to the left-hand side over here. All that we have to do is hold Alt and drag these corners inwards to start a crop. And a tiny bit on the top, tiny bit on the bottom. There we go. Now it's fully cropped and working as you'd expect. We can also right-click the video source over here, head across to Transform, Edit Transform, and enter our own cropping details over here at the very bottom. I would assume these sides should be the same, probably around 110, that looks good. Crop 5 is probably good enough. There we go. It seems to not have any black borders anymore, and that's me. So let's go ahead and disable it here, and let's do something a bit more interesting with it. Let's go ahead and go live on Twitch, YouTube, and the rest without needing to install and configure streaming software like OBS or XSplit. Restream reached out to me and sponsored a couple of videos. This is one of them. So I'll be showing off their Restream dashboard. Heading across to Restream.io, I'll re-enable the places that I'm going to stream to. So I'll stream to not only YouTube, but Twitch and Facebook as well. If you don't see your channels here, simply click the Add Channel button and then choose the platform that you're going to be streaming to. You'll be asked to sign in, and after a really simple process, you'll have it added to the list over here where you can turn on the streaming output. Let's go ahead and enter the live studio to go live without any software needed on our computer other than the EOS driver. After the page loads, you should be asked to allow it access to your camera. I'll click allow, and then you should simply see your camera connect and appear on stream almost immediately. There we go, my DSLR is turning on, and there we are, I'm appearing on stream as expected. I'll go ahead and add a screen share so that you can see my screen in this live stream over here. I'll simply enable it, and it'll be added to the side of me. I'll click the spotlight feature, so I'm added to the bottom right of it as a webcam. Now, of course, your DSLR webcam will probably not have these black bars, as it'll be a more up-to-date, officially supported webcam, where mine isn't really officially supported, but at least it still works. I'll go ahead and simply click the Go Live button, and shortly after, you should see me go live on all of those platforms. To see what platforms I'm currently live on, I'll click the Setup button in the top right, and you'll see the destination that you're going to. To open up the actual live streams, I'll open up the dashboard in a new tab, and I'll click on each of these channels to open up new web pages that are simply the streams. So at this point, we'll head across to the Twitch tab, and you can see I'm live on Twitch as you'd expect. Heading across to the YouTube tab, you'll simply see my channel as I'm streaming in unlisted mode. Heading across to my created dashboard, videos tab, then the live section, you can see the live stream over here. I can simply open it up in a new tab, and there we are on the live stream right now. And as well, heading to the Facebook tab, you can see the live stream on Facebook as well. Expanding it, there it is. So heading back to the Restream tab over here, we can of course customize our stream and do with it what we like. Because of how Facebook Live works, I won't be able to send a message there, but if I were to type out a message in this combined chat over here, it'll be sent across to all of the platforms that I'm linked to and currently streaming on. So YouTube and Twitch. Checking Twitch, there's a message from us, the streamer, and checking YouTube, here's a message from us as well in chat. If a user were to join the stream and type something, hello from YouTube, Twitch, hello from Twitch, and Facebook, You'll notice that on the Restream tab over here, we have all of these messages coming through, combined into one easy chat. Of course, if you'd like a full breakdown on how to properly use this live stream dashboard, make sure to check the description down below to another sponsored video that I did with Restream, where I covered this live dashboard in incredible detail. Now that you have a working webcam that you can use in Zoom, Discord, OBS, or even live stream to multiple platforms without any extra downloads, besides of course the driver utility, you can use it as you like. Now, of course, this video is not exactly going to dive into how good it is for your actual camera itself to be constantly live streaming, but it's probably about as damaging as taking a normal movie. Of course, if you're going to be doing proper DSLR live streaming, make sure that you get yourself a DSLR video camera instead of just a DSLR picture camera with a video feature built into it. I doubt it's doing anything too harmful to it, but if you're running it for hours and hours and hours on end, make sure that it's durable enough to actually survive that, as DSLR cameras aren't exactly the cheapest thing to be working with. But anyways, now that I'm done live streaming, I'll simply click finish, and okay, my live stream will stop, and on all of these other platforms over here, soon after, the video will stop as well. There we go. Twitch, it's also stopped, and as well as Facebook over here, which will stop in just a moment. Done. Now, of course, I can use the software basically anywhere I'd like, and it would work exactly as you expect. That's about it for this video. Hopefully you found something useful in it. My name's been Technobo here for Troubleshoot. Thank you once again to Restream for sponsoring this short video series. I'll see you all next time. Ciao.